Welcome back, Bravehearts. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe. I'm here today with Lorraine out of Calgary, and I'm in Kelowna, British Columbia. And believe it or not, I'm in my Airbnb, and this is my studio while we're up north here in Kelowna. I'm going to be doing a lecture next Thursday, a week from tomorrow, and it will be at 6 o'clock will be the meet and greet, and 7 o'clock we will actually do Reverse the Irreversible. It's free. And we will be meeting at the Royal Anne Hotel on Bernard Street in Kelowna. Now, on Saturday, I will be in Oliver. If you want to know about that, it'll be a day with the doc. And that's going to be about a 5-hour session. And in both places, we're going to show the Cellsonic. We're going to show some non-surgical. We're going to be talking about reversing the irreversible. And guess what? How we were all ruled, schooled, and fooled. And how basically, let me tell you something. How many of you believe in disease? Oh, how about all of you? How about you are all programmed to believe in disease? And how about this one? Are you ready? I don't believe in disease. Are you ready? Here's a challenge that you're going to go, well, Dr. Wolfe, you better knock on wood. Oh, are you ever setting yourself up to fail? I will never have a disease. I will never have a disease. You were first an energy body before you became a physical body. And understand the psychological rules the physical. You better get that. The psychological rules the biological. And guess what? You're being ruled all the time by the psychos out there, from the medical system to the government to the corporations that are feeding off of everybody. And the reality is guess what? We couldn't love ourselves or love each other, could we? We couldn't come together and stop picking on each other. We couldn't stop competing against each other. We couldn't stop screwing ourselves over, could we? I'm going to tell you what I think. I think that the majority of the population is very low vibrational. And you're going to say, who in the hell do you think you are? I'm going to tell you who I am. No better than anybody else on this planet. But I work from the heart. I take the path of the heart, which means I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to justify. I'm not going to make excuses why I can't get my act together, why I can't heal myself. I'm not going to wait for a savior. I'm not going to wait for someone to follow. And understand something right now. I don't want you to follow me. I am nobody's savior, but I will tell you this much, okay? You have the power to heal yourself, and you have the power to become the light for your family. You just have to make different choices. Take a look at what you do with your spare time. Take a look at your habits. How about that one? Take a look at your habits. Take a look at the routine of your day. Look at how some of you never have enough time to do anything because you're so chaotic in your mind. What are you going to do when they bring the biggest chaos, 3-ring circus, okay, which is only 3 months away. 3 months away. Remember I said that. What are we at right now? April? Let me see. April, May, June, July, August. 5 months maximum. It's going to be nutsy cuckoo. And any of you that can be ruled, schooled, or fooled are going to be so sick because emotionally you can't stay neutral. So this is called the perfect day. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to have this every Wednesday. And we're going to have different topics, okay? Right now, we have 45 boxes, okay? I already had, okay, a total studio. I've got 5 professional cameras. We've got lighting. And now we've got 45 boxes of equipment. 15 more boxes are coming to Texas, being shipped to Mexico. I'm creating one of the most professional studios in Mexico and probably one of the most professional studios anywhere in North America. It's 35 by 50 feet. It has 5 different stages to it. And I'm going to be inviting the top people in the world to come and do their master classes, to come and do lectures, to come and do trainings. And Braveheart Nation app is going to be coming out on August 8th. I have only begun to bring the thunder down. I want you to watch me and understand something. I am no better than you, no smarter than you, no more powerful than you. And I'm going to show you in the next months, in the next 6 months, I will do more than most people do in their whole life. And it's not because you can't do it. It's because you have limited possibility, because you have crowned your mind the king, and I have crowned my heart the king. The heart is infinite. The mind is limited. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to rant and rave and go blah, 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 blah. We're going to get a routine going, okay? And Lorraine, do you have what we're going to be doing? Can you tell them? So we're going to go through some products today and then leave enough room, okay, to answer everybody's questions. You can put your questions up on Facebook, and I'll follow those questions, okay, maybe. And also, what you can do is you can text me to my phone number, 469-861-8884. So either on Facebook, or you can do that. And those people that want to come on the Zoom, okay, we're going to be having this like this every Wednesday. If you come on the Zoom, you can come on live, you can talk to me and we can chat. So we're going to open this up, and just know this, we are going to do it earlier next week, okay? All right, because I start so early. Okay, we start like at 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. That's when I usually get started right now, because of the Braveheart Nation app coming out, building the video studio, and doing all the other things that we're doing. And understand something. I had a meeting with Jim Gale today. There was probably 40 people on, and they're all similar to the way I am. They take massive personal action, and they want to show the world that if we unite, if we come together and we do it out of love, and we don't go out there to keep protesting and fighting, explaining, complaining, justifying, and we mind our own business, guess what? We can take it back. But I'm going to tell you, 99% of you are programmed to destroy yourself and your family, and you don't even know it. You think you know what love is, and you don't even know it. And I'm not picking on you. I'm trying to tell you to challenge your subconscious that has been programmed. And whether you believe this or not, this programming started when? Did you ever hear the thing? What was it? Come on, help me out. All roads lead to Rome. Okay? Back in the Roman days is when the Rothschilds started strategizing for the harvest that's going on here today. Do you see how patient they are? That's generations, okay? That's generations of the Rothschilds that have taken their time to actually come and harvest us. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. You can't get the chlorine and the fluoride out of the water. You can't get the chemtrails out of the sky. You can't get the GMOs or the chemicals out of your food. But guess what? You can't even stop yourself from eating these addicted things. What do you think of that? I was there. If I wasn't in the health business, I probably wouldn't be in the earth business. I wouldn't be here. So if I come off cocky, understand I'm not trying to. I'm trying to tell you that you all have the opportunity. But guess what? Most of you aren't excited about yourself. You're not excited about yourself at all. You've been taught to run yourself down, run yourself over. And guess what I'll do every time I come on the show? I'll throw myself under the bus, and I'll piss you off a little bit, get you thinking a little bit. Some of you are going to go, he doesn't know what he's talking about, because that's what the subconscious wants you to do, because the subconscious says, I'm going to protect your prominent dominant beliefs, no matter if they are killing you and your family. That's what it says. I am going to protect your prominent dominant beliefs, even if they're killing you and your family. How's the pizza? How's the glass of wine, everyone? How's the potato chips? How's the ice cream? How's the tacos? Okay, all right? How's the beer? How's that going? Seriously. And guess what? Most of you are just planning. Can you call Tora, please? And most of you are just planning to have fun on the weekend and then party like crazy and have a hangover. They have programmed us to poison ourselves and poison each other. And I'm not going to rant and rave, because we'll get into the product training. But we're going to do lots of stuff. Next week, what are we going to do, Lorraine?
Next week we are, sorry, whoops.
We're going to walk through the perfect day, live it, not diet, because the first three letters of diet are die. Did you ever notice? They created a diet for us because guess what? There's a rule with Almighty God, the creator of the universe. And guess what? You guys, if you're highly religious, you're not going to believe this. The creator says, you can poison them. Just let them know you're doing it. And if they allow it, go for it. Because these people, individuals, need to learn how to love and care for themselves and raise their vibration up. If they can't make a choice about what they put in their mouth and their mind, then they're just going to have to do rewrites for eternity. You may not believe this, but they're not going to get theirs. Nobody's going to get theirs. God's going to get them. I mean, talk about the silly things, eh? We're so busy pointing fingers and saying, who's going to get it? Oh, probably you're ready for me to get it too. Well, guess what? I'm not going to get it because you didn't get it. You didn't get the memo. You get to make choices. Nobody's coming to save you. What you put in your mouth matters. What you put in your mind matters. You were programmed from 0 to 7. Now it's your turn to try to unravel all this and learn how to love yourself unconditionally and become the light. And that's the deal. So next week, we'll just go through the perfect day diet from the morning, from you rise until you go to bed. And Lorraine will talk about what she does. I'll talk about what I do, and it'll be a little bit different. But it'll be 80% the same. Yeah. And guess what? We won't be going to the slaughterhouse like everybody every day. You know the slaughterhouse? Where, guess what? Where us earthlings have been given dominion over all the animals so that we can just go out and slaughter them. You know, that's a bunch of BS. And God did not say that. And guess what? No creator said that. So if that's true and you believe that, then the holy book is not so holy. It's got holes in it. I don't know how much more blood we need to spill on this planet. Now, does anybody know why they tell us that we have dominion and they just allow us to go out and kill anything we want? So that we'll kill ourselves and each other. Because they live off our suffering. They own this planet. 250,000 of them control the whole 8 billion. Oh yeah, we're the smartest species in the world. Let's see if we can if we could just create a perfect day on an emotional, physical, nutritional level. Boom, wouldn't that be mind-blowing? Let me tell you something. 4 weeks ago, I went to stay with some friends. Hey, want to go out into the sun deck? It's really warm. Yeah, let's go out there. Four big, large bottles, okay, of glyphosate. Okay, Roundup. Weed killer. You men are like, what is it with you guys? He's got a backpack to put the glyphosate on his back, and he's got 2 sprayers. He thinks he's a 2-gun kid. And he's out there spraying his lawn to get rid of the dandelions, okay, that are healing. And the more dandelions you have, it's just the mineral imbalance of your lawn, that's all. Why not balance the minerals in your lawn? Oh, wait a minute. Here, let me just get to something. He has to use drugs on his lawn, and you have to use drugs to numb out your emotions. And the pain, when meanwhile, pain is a GPS just telling you that you're not loving yourself. But meanwhile, you love your family, right? But you don't know how to love yourself, care for yourself. But you love your family. You come from a very loving family. I call BS. I'm calling everybody out right now because the window is going like this. You think so, right? You think so. I'll tell you something right now. COVID was just an hors d'oeuvre. So we're going to try to see, every week we'll come here and we're going to try to help, we're going to help support everyone. Because you know what? You're not dumb. You're not stupid. Okay? You've been programmed. Just like any other computer, because that's all the brain is, a computer. I shove a bunch of toxic programs in it. All I'm going to get is toxic answers. But remember something, toxic, T-O-X-I-C. How about T-A-L-K-S-I-C-K? Go ahead, keep talking sick. Keep complaining, keep explaining, keep justifying, keep making excuses, and keep complaining about everything out there, from the gas prices to the food prices to everything. And you've just wasted all your energy. Why aren't you focused on this, strategizing? Do you know what I do? I understand that this is just a game, and every day I strategize to outsmart these guys, okay? And how do you outsmart them? By loving and caring for yourself, by staying neutral, by not reacting. That's just a tip. That's all I would like to say. Lorraine, would you like to say anything before we start going into some products?
Well, we have a choice. We have a choice whether we're going to add whatever it is that's going to poison us, or add something that's actually going to help raise the body. And that's what we're going to talk about, is all the things, all the nutraceuticals that are going to raise the vibration of the body. Because when you're in that 20-foot hole and we give you a 10-foot ladder, it doesn't matter how many times you run up and down it, you're not going to get out. You're not going to get out. Our world is so toxic, our bodies can't keep up with it. And we have to supply the body with what it needs on a daily basis. And that's what we're going to talk about.
And you know something? I don't care. Go ahead, go to the grocery store, buy all the fruits and vegetables, take all of those plant foods in, and you're not going to get enough nutrients. Unless you can tell me that you are growing your food into balanced soil, okay? And it's fresh and you did it, okay? Right now, if you go get a tomato from the store, guess what? You would have to eat 40 tomatoes compared to 50 years ago. 40 tomatoes. But it won't matter, because you could eat 40 tomatoes, but the nutrients aren't in them. They're trying to, it's just not there. It's just not there. And let me tell you something, every one of you that have a toxic diet, which is 99.9% of the population, it truly is, guess what? You're going to tell me that this toxicity doesn't change your mood? It doesn't make you miserable? It doesn't create anxiety? It doesn't give you lack of energy, so you don't want to go for a walk, you don't want to play? You're just not that fun to be with, are you, though? Right? And you know what? They want to create so much chaos and so much war around the world. That's none of my business. If you're picking a side, then you don't even know what inside looks like. If you were to go inside and not pick a side, go inside yourself and not pick a side and stay neutral, you'll have energy and you'd have your health. You may not realize this, but all the complaining and all the explaining that you do is just a waste of energy, and it's stressing everybody out. And everybody's addicted to the rush. I know how to dump dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphin in my body, and everybody here doesn't practice that. They just act, react, react. That's it. That's it. Act, react. That's all you do. Boom, 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 boom. I'll tell you something right now. My partner, me and Lori, we don't fight because we suppress things. We don't fight because we have unconditional love for ourselves, and we shine that light on each other. We don't have a squabble that will last for more than 15 seconds. We don't have stuff that we haven't dealt with for years. That's not it. Life is an adventure for us, and if we dream up something, we're going to go for it. It's teamwork that makes the dream work. And there's the big problem, because almost every couple is, one person wants to do it and the other person doesn't. And you know what? If you had that choice, you wouldn't remarry that person or be with them. And you know that. And that's 9 out of 10 of you. Isn't that something? And it's not their fault, but everything's just a program. So understand, just know this. We're going to teach you how to have the perfect day, but I'm telling you something right now. You're not going to have the perfect day if you believe that you have to stay in a relationship that sucks the living out of you. What do you think, Lorraine?
No, that's true. That's true. You know, when you're living in a toxic relationship that is not helping the two of you raise each other, then it's destroying you. And
Yeah, and here's the problem, okay? We don't say anything, and then we blow. And then we have this fight and we feel bad, and then we don't talk for a while, and then we make up. And then guess what? Everything goes back to the same. And guess what? It's just the same repetition over and over again. Because you know what? And whether you believe this or not, if everybody took my whole life coach once, they would realize that. If they took it twice, they would go, I deserve it. If they took it 3 times, they would own their life.
Yeah.
But the reality is the brand new couch and the brand new car. And let's take the $15,000 holiday, okay, at the resort, and then just eat and drink our faces off. So the reality is I understand the majority of the population is never going to buy into this. But at least you could get started. From the moment you rise until you close your eyes, wouldn't you like to be the master of that? And you can do that if you download my PDGfree.com guide, if you go into my library, if you come on these shows, if you invest yourself. And in most cases, you're going to have your family mocking you. All right? So just know this. We said that we were going to have a special, and I'll say it now. That's where we're going to have the Perfect Day Guide. Lori, would you grab me the Perfect Day Guide and the Healthy to 100 book? Anybody that calls in and to the 800 number tomorrow, actually, what's tomorrow? Thursday until the end of Friday day. If you say, hi, I'm a health nut, okay, that's the code. Okay, you'll pay for the Perfect Day Guide if you want it, okay, all right? And then you'll get the Healthy to 100 book free, all right? You know, and I'll tell you something right now, so just so you know who we are, we've had many meetings on this, Lori? We have put everything on special, and we run specials every week. And do you know why we do it? Because we have to. We have to run specials every week because guess what? There is no inflation. It's just taxation. And understand something. When something goes up in price, it's not because it's worth more. It's not because it costs more to make it. It's because your government, which is not actually the Federal Reserve, the Federal Reserve, private-owned business, is printing money like crazy to feed all their friends, the bankers, that are actually creating the wars that are on right now. So that's why this book, if I didn't hold the price, like your food, your gas is going up because, and it's not going to stop going up. It's going to keep going up, guys. So stop complaining. Find your passion, find your purpose, find your alignment. Because until they can actually wipe out the US dollar, because it's all been intended. This isn't like, oh my God, I stepped into some dog poo and I got it all over my foot. No, they're putting our feet and our face in it. Okay, just so you understand. I understand things. I'm very logical, as you can tell. I'm a logical person. I tell the truth. The truth is a hard pill to swallow. But the reality is guess what? If you came together as a loving family and it was actually teamwork, or a loving group and it was actually teamwork, that's when the dream works. Okay. Let me just ask one. I'm going to answer a question here. Is that okay, everybody? It was, okay, Kristen says, I'm a health nut. I bet you are, Kristen. Stay away from me. Oh my God. Okay. Do you remember when I was younger, like around 20, 22, 23, and I was just getting into it? They taught everyone to mock people that ate and drank and lived properly, right? Yeah. Okay. Or you were a hippie, or, you know, you were granola. Okay. I mean, you know, can you guys just stop it? Because the majority of the population did that and they had no brain. They gave their brain away a long time ago. You need to understand something. You can either struggle, okay, and suffer in pain, or you can struggle to become more every day. Which one do you want? That's the way it works. Okay. Or you can fit in and just get done in. See, I'm not giving up. I mean, you know, my government has come after me 3 times. 3 times already. What will it take for you to fall in love and hold the line for you? You know, you're going to be with you a long time. It's called infinity. And I'm telling you, if you don't want to walk the path of the heart and you want to do this, you're toast. All right. So here we go. Christine. Hi, Dr. Wolf. What can be done for a UTI in an 80-pound dog? Oh, for gosh sakes. Well, first of all, no dog's going to have a UTI if it was fed properly. So the dog needs black gold mixed into the food. If it will take Ormus minerals, if it's an 80-pound dog and it's got a UTI, you should be putting at least 20 to 30 drops in its drinking water. The dog also needs, are you ready for this? Okay, if it's 80 pounds, you give it 1 cap of daily cleansing tea, 1 capsule down its throat, or what you do is you give it 2 ounces of tea twice a day. 2 ounces of daily cleansing tea twice a day, and then see how the bowels are moving. But I'd rather give it a cap at night when it goes to bed, and then put it out in the morning. And understand something, UTI is the same reason why I would get a UTI, why Lori would get a UTI, why anybody gets a UTI is because of constipation. You heard what I said. All UTIs are caused because of constipation. That's not true, Dr. Wolf. I had a big bowel movement this morning. No, it's not what comes out. It's what lags behind. And the bladder sits right in front of the last 3 inches of the large intestine. And guess what? You're reabsorbing that waste. Okay? And that's the truth. Why don't you smell the dog's breath? It probably smells like its butt. If it's got a UTI problem, I guarantee it smells like poop, his breath. And it's not because he was licking his butt. It's because hot air rises, and from the mouth to the rectum, it's just 1 tube. I would also be giving that dog 1 curcumin cayenne 5000. Are you ready for this? 3 times a day down his throat. Why? To bring down the infection, bring down the inflammation. Start there. Just start there. Those things right there, I'd be doing that. Okay? All right. What do you think, Lorraine? Is there anything I forgot?
Just a structured water. Make sure they're drinking lots of water.
Yeah, that's right. And if you actually have a cell power, right? Okay, which is right there. Lorraine's got it in her hand.
There it is.
Then make that for the dog's water, and it'll be tons of hydrogen. Does anybody know that hydrogen actually gets rid of inflammation? It's the smallest molecule on the planet, but it gets rid of inflammation and it gets rid of scar tissue formation. And when you've got infection in the dog's bladder, if it continues, it's going to cause inflammation, which is going to cause scar tissue formation, which means the bladder won't be able to stretch, and then the dog will be in pain. But guess what? Any dog that continues to have bladder problems is going to have hip problems. Did you get that? It's going to have hip problems. Oh, wait a minute. Any female, any male with bladder problems is going to have hip problems. And understand something. If there's a surgeon on here, I'd like them to call in right now, because 95% of all surgeries are caused because you pooped in your pelvis. That's it. So you filled up the pelvic bowl with particles of bad bacteria, fungi, parasites, because you got leaky gut. And it's not leaky gut, it's leaky large intestine, which means that you're pooping into your pelvis and filling up the pelvic bowl. And the infection created the inflammation, and that spread out to your hips. And that's why, guess what? 95% of all low back surgeries and all hip replacements are caused because you couldn't take a proper poop. Okay? And understand something. That person has bowel problems. That person has ovary problems. They've got probably cysts on their ovaries. They got endometriosis. They have bladder infections. They have an array of different things. But nobody can what? Attach the actual dots. Why? Because I went to my primary care doctor, which would be a medical doctor, my primary. So they're primary, I'm secondary. Well, that's up to you. You need to be your primary doctor. I need to be secondary. and medical doctors need to be secondary. So understand that. And that's the God's truth. All right. So anyways, that's how we can look after that little puppy of yours, that 80-pound guy. My son said, I now dress up like a natural product person. I said a hippie. He said, yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay, great. Good for you. All right. Now, is there anybody that's on the actual Zoom that has questions? Because I'll check in every 5 minutes because the Zoom people come first. Because here's the deal. I'm not sure. I find it risky to be talking about products and nutrition on Facebook and all these other platforms, because what they do is they slice and dice my videos, okay? And then they come after me. So the reality is come August 8th, it'll all be done on Zoom and it'll be happening in my Braveheart app. There won't be full things going on these platforms. We'll use these platforms for commercials, okay? That's about it, to bring people into the app. And when you get into the app, nothing's going to change. We're not going to hound you. We're not coming after you. But I will have the most powerful people in health in the world, and the people that are actually been kicked off of every platform that are trying to make a change on this planet will be having shows on my Braveheart Nation app. Hey, Lorraine?
Yes, I'm so excited about what the changes we're going to see. With
and oh, I didn't mean to cut you off, love.
That's okay. There's a little lag.
No, I just wanted to do it. No, I'm kidding. So anyways, so we've got now Be Brave. That's an outside show. And that's all about the bees. It's all about the pure magnet. It's all about honey. It's all about the matrix of the world. They're going to get into this really deep. They're going to show you how everything's interconnected. That's Jake and Brent. And then guess what? Guess who just came on? Jim Gale. So Jim Gale is going to be doing the Seeds of Abundance, and he'll be coming on weekly with a show. And he'll be bringing other people on around the world that are big influencers. Okay? So those will be 2 shows, and we're going to work our way into about 60 or 120 of them. Different languages, different topics for different people, because we all have different desires, right? Does anybody have any questions before I move off of, can you unmute or raise your hand or let us know? No questions?
Hi, I have a question. It's Belinda Wansby. Hi. I also sent a text message as well. So I have a lot of issues going on, chronic inflammation, leaky gut, adrenal fatigue, uterine fibroids, and leaky brain.
Okay, Belinda, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
How much do you weigh?
248.
There's your answer. Belinda, take your phone and then go over and show us what's in the cupboard in the fridge. And there's your answer. That's your answer. Okay, who do you live with?
My mom.
And your mother, she's not interested in natural health, right? Belinda,
so
yes
much.
or no? Yes or no? Let me tell you something. You're not allowed to try to protect your family. I'm not the enemy. Your mother's not into health, right? Except maybe when she's in pain, she takes things to help to bring down the pain.
She does a lot of research, but she also
listen to me. Can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Information is not the key. You know what the key is, Belinda?
What?
On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you with loving yourself? Like truly loving yourself?
I would say 6. 6 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
I would say a 4. Okay, so how tall are you?
5'4".
5'4".
Yeah.
5'4". And you're 248 pounds.
Yes.
5'4", you're supposed to be 130 pounds. You've got 120 pounds. You're almost double your weight. Now, I'm not picking on her, but this is real. This is real here. Almost the whole world's experiencing this on some level. That's 130 pounds of inflammation and infection. It's only through the grace of God that you're still alive. What does your mother weigh?
She weighs about 120 pounds.
And how tall is she?
Same height, 5'4".
Okay, so why do you use all this weight to protect yourself? What's going on?
I actually have been having a very difficult time losing weight. I've been gaining weight and I can't figure out like why
I'm
can't lose
asking you what's going on in your mind.
in my mind. Well, I have a job that I don't like, but I don't.
Well, there it is. Okay, 1 second. No, you have yourself that you don't like, because you have to not like yourself to have a job you don't like. Did you know that? Did you know that?
Never thought about it that way. That's just kind of what I could find.
No, that's not true. You want to know something, everyone? That your vibration is magnetic. And what creates the vibration is what? The emotions. What creates the emotions is the thoughts. What creates the thoughts but the image of yourself? That is true science, Belinda. That's true science. What's the job you have, love?
I'm an insurance underwriter.
Okay. All right. So what would you rather be doing? Okay,
I don't really know.
Well, I didn't want to say it. You know why? Because this is where she goes, I don't know what my passion and purpose yet. And the reality is this. That's why, guess what? We shouldn't even, Belinda, have you already had a perfect day consult?
Yes.
Well, then you can't move on anything. And the reality is this. You need to sit down and write a Braveheart Heroes contract. You need to say, if I loved and cared for myself and I could have anything I want, where would I live? Who would I live with? What would it look like? What would my job be like? Okay. What would I be eating? And what would I be doing in my spare time? And you need to just write this story. And then guess what? Every morning you take a look at this, and don't tell me you don't have the time. 10 minutes, you reread it and you correct it. So that's why you want to put it and you want to redo it. And then guess what? Every night you look at it again. And after 33 nights, guess what? Belinda, you would drop 25 pounds without changing your diet because you lightened the load on an emotional level. You also got more aligned with who you are and what you want, and you don't know. You are what we call a nice person. She would do anything for anyone. Yeah, that's why she doesn't get anything for herself. And that doesn't mean be cruel. That doesn't mean to be harsh. It just means this. I don't like nice people, Belinda, because guess what? They give their lives away. They will eat, drink, and think whatever's going on to fit like a chameleon. Isn't it something how we just want to be accepted for who we are? No, we want to be accepted by ourselves first and foremost. Nobody else matters. Yeah, but I just want to be loved. I just want to be told that I'm special. No, I'm not going to. You need to do it for yourself. Lorraine?
That's true. We've got to figure out how to crack that coconut from the inside out. It all is a self, it's got to be from inside. You've got to come from the heart and really start looking at absolutely everything that you are doing, right from what's going in, what's going on, what's going in.
Why can't you just visualize that you just birthed you. This brand new baby that you are going to have unconditional love for. You know what? If I went to your fridge and your cupboards, I would have 3.5 boxes of stuff to throw out. Seriously? And that stuff is the first stuff that gets eaten in your house. Belinda?
Yes.
What do you do, Belinda, for fun?
Don't really have a lot of fun. I travel when I can to go visit my friends and family that live other places.
Okay, well, that's not going to work, eh? So how does it feel to hold yourself hostage?
It doesn't feel good.
No, and guess what? It's not going to. Do you take a lot of drugs?
No, not at all.
You probably should. I'm kidding. I'm trying to tell you, I couldn't live like this. I would have to do drugs. I'd have to either start coking or drinking or seriously just to numb out this personality. You know, what scares you about having a life? Why do you have to only go to people that you really know? Why are you embarrassed and so scared to have a little bit of excitement? You know, if you're not doing something that scares you a little bit every day, you're not even living. How's it feel to always hide out and try to look for safety?
Safe.
Safe, okay, but very uncomfortable and very lonely, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then just get used to being lonely and just get used to getting heavier, okay? Because that's why I already told you, something happened when you were younger that traumatized you, and all of this weight is insulation to protect you. And you've got the authentic you hiding way under the extra 130 some pounds. And don't worry, boy, you know what? That's my protection. I mean, you know, I'm overweight. I don't have to worry. Nobody's going to approach me. Okay. I'm just going to go home. That's safe. Do you know what you really want? Do you have any idea what you really want?
Want to live in peace.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Because guess what? You don't want to live in peace. You want alignment. You want excitement. You want adventure. That is a crock. And the only reason why you want peace is because guess what? You're terrorizing yourself by hiding out. Have you taken the whole life coach course before?
No.
That's right. But guess what? You can't afford it, right?
I
That's
can
right.
now. I couldn't before, but I can now.
Let me tell you something. That's not true. I would put it on my visa and go and change my life. When you change your life and bring up your vibration, and go find a course that's equal to mine. Go, if you can do it, go do it. So it's not about me having your money, honey. But the reality is this is how everybody disrespects himself. They don't have enough money for nothing when it comes to high vibration. Do you know what? My course is so high vibrational, it scares you. What if people laugh at me? What if I go there and it doesn't help me and I fail? Then I'll really know that there's no hope for me. Then I'll be suicidal. What do you think, Belinda? How am I doing?
I'm not scared to try stuff. I try stuff all the time. I just haven't
Oh, really?
found anything that excites me.
Oh, really? Guess what? Because you don't go looking for it. That's not even true. I could find something exciting to do tonight. You don't challenge yourself. You know that. You stay in this little quiet safety zone, right? Do my job, go home, and then make a plan to go visit family and friends because at least I feel secure there. I'm not out of my comfort zone, which is very uncomfortable. Okay. You know what? I am trying to just push you a little bit. That's all. Everybody, do you ever notice you have to feel uncomfortable? And then you got to make the move, right? How many of you ever made big changes and you were comfortable? We don't, do we? Because the subconscious doesn't allow us to do that. Just know, Belinda, you're a beautiful person, and I know it, and you know it, and you want more adventure. You want more excitement. So go find something that's going to challenge you and also help you to become more social and meet new people. What do you think of that?
That sounds great. And I used to be that person. I've done all that. I just didn't find anything that keeps me excited.
Okay, so what would you like from me, love?
Well, I want to be healthy. I don't want to live with chronic inflammation in my body. I don't want to have
Okay, so
leaky gut.
if everybody doesn't mind, let's give her another 5 to 10 minutes. So be honest with me. What did you eat and drink today? What did you start off with in the morning?
Well, I started off with water. I always start off with water.
How much water? What kind of water?
Structured water.
How much?
32 ounces. Would I start out in the morning?
Okay, that's really good.
Then I have a fresh pressed juice about 10 o'clock.
What juice?
I may have spinach and cucumber and celery and apple. Or if I have some fruit, I might do a smoothie. Just kind of depends on what I have in the refrigerator. Lunch, salad or soup. Today I had a salad and some lentil soup. And like that's
So what are
pretty
the
much.
things, what are the things that you eat that you shouldn't be eating because you're eating them?
Well, if I go out to eat, and I do go out to eat at least once a week, that of course I have no idea what's in it because I'm not cooking it.
Okay, Belinda, it's not that, that's not the problem though. It's not the problem. The problem is not the once a week. What things are at home that you eat that you know you shouldn't?
I have potatoes. I mean, to be honest, like I get the quality of food that I have is not the greatest. I eat potatoes. I eat beans, rice.
Yeah, okay, but that's what I eat. Just know that weight problems are not genetic, okay?
Yeah, I
So-
actually know that.
Okay. I'm not sure what I can say here because you got to help me out. Because what you did is you gave me a diet that is a pretty good limit, right, Lorraine?
Yeah.
It's a lot better than most people probably that are on here tonight.
Which is why I'm struggling with why am I gaining weight and not losing it? Because
Do you have chronic depression? Would you say?
no, but I would say I definitely have chronic stress.
Well, chronic stress leads to chronic depression. And why do you have chronic stress?
because I don't like my job. I work very long hours. And I feel like
Didn't we have this conversation 2 years? Didn't we have this conversation 2 years ago?
we did, and I've changed
Okay.
jobs, but it's like it doesn't matter. It always looks the same.
Okay, then you're just gonna, okay then. You know what? So it just proves my point that you have to be emotionally happy. And you're not gonna probably lose this weight until you have the courage to go do a job that you love. So then I'm gonna come back to the point that I don't think you really love and care for yourself. And then people are going to think I'm cruel. Marcia just said, I've had enough of this, and she took off. Because to somebody who comes on here will sound like I'm cruel. But what do you do with people that are really stuck? And Belinda, you're really stuck. And whether you believe it or not, your main belief system is suffering. That suffering is a way of life for you. So I don't know what to do with this. I'll tell you one thing, find a course that's going to hold the line and crack your coconut from the inside out, that you're actually going to love yourself and make decisions, okay, that are much more high vibrational than the ones you make.
Can I say something?
Please.
Belinda, I was 180 pounds when I met Daryl, and I was already in alternative health, and I was eating well. And it was the emotional stuff. I was not loving myself. That Braveheart emotional work, that 12 loving steps changed me. But I had to do that work. I had to look in the mirror and say that oath. I had to do the love band and snap back, get rid of those negative programs that are running up here. And I had sticky notes up everywhere with little affirmations that would raise my thoughts. And then when I went grocery shopping, I really looked at what I was bringing in. Is this going to raise my body's vibration, or is this going to bring it down? And then if it's going to bring it down, I've got to figure out why I'm doing that to myself. But the biggest one for me was the emotional stuff. And when I started doing that, my body changed. Because I started loving this beautiful body. We need to have that passion, like Daryl was saying. We need to have that passion that we had. Well, I don't know if you've had children, but I remember when I gave birth to that beautiful baby, there was so much love. Our bodies aren't broken. They know what's happening.
Our spirit is broken.
That's right. And you've got to find that little girl in there and just bring her out. Keep bringing her out and fan that flame for her so that she can light up the room again, because she's not.
I want everybody to understand something. I'm not trying to be aggressive on Belinda. I didn't want to bring it up, but we had the same conversation 2 years ago. She hasn't moved 1 inch. She's suffering. So I tried to go in there and try to stir something up, at least get her angry at me or tell me to go bugger off. Do something to get something going here.
And, challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to do that 1% better. And be really careful of the words that you're saying, because your body.
Lorraine, she has to do something drastic. She has to go and actually find her passion and purpose and go find what's not comfortable, but uncomfortable, but something that excites her again. Okay, so just know this. The majority of people do not pass on because their body gives out. They pass on because they don't let their spirit in. I need everyone to get this. Anxiety, depression, all of these things block your spirit from coming in. It's not like we're born and our spirit comes in and gets infused into a physical body and that's it. Your spirit is continually coming into this body. Does everybody know that? It will come in at the same power it came in when you came in to the womb. Just like people actually say, oh, I gained the weight because my metabolism, the doctor said, slows down. Nobody's metabolism slows down. Your metabolism stays the same your whole life. The only problem is there's emotional blocks that create physical blocks. The emotional blocks and the physical blocks do not allow the spirit to move. And you actually choke yourself off and suffocate yourself. And then guess what? Because when you block things, you create swamps. Swamps create mosquitoes. And then you grow things in you that you shouldn't have there because you choked off the love. And that's it. Oh my God, is she ever high-spirited? What does that mean? That means that she's in love with herself. All right, let's move on. Does anybody else have any health questions? And Belinda, I don't know what to say, but you see how at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I tried to irk her, get her going, poke at her a little bit, but she's protecting. She is protecting, okay? Her personality that she doesn't even want anymore. Remember, if your personality isn't changing 1% every day, I meant that, then you're not living. From 0 to 7, you get programmed to off yourself and anyone else around you. Yes or no? You have no filters. Adults raise you and they're adulterated. By the time you're like 8 or 12 years old, you don't even know what love is. And then you go searching for everyone else to fill up your heart for the rest of your life. And understand something, Belinda. I don't want to get into it, but there's been trauma. It even could have been a sexual abuse, and you might have even blocked it. You're doing such a good job at blocking everything. You could have had sexual abuse and maybe a few times, and you've blocked it, or you can't even look at it. And I'm telling you, if we were to get in there, I wouldn't be surprised. So my heart goes out to you, but you're going to have to find your brave heart now, sweetheart. Somebody's asking about acne, okay? Just remember something. Okay, I will explain this to you. But whether you're talking about a cyst on your ovaries or a cyst on your face, it's called pus. And why would you have a cyst in your ovaries? Because you're pooping in your pelvis. Why would you have a cyst on your face? Because you're infecting your bloodstream, and also your lymph system is now so sluggish, okay? So now everything's backing up and it's coming out of your face, okay? So understand something, acne, infection, and inflammation. And what is acne? Well, it's mucus and bad bacteria. Now, how do you get mucus and bad bacteria? Infection creates inflammation. The body makes more mucus to try to protect the lining. And when you have a swamp, when you have stagnation of lymph and blood, you're going to get bad bacteria because you're going to have less oxygen. So it's going to convert, and especially those people that do antibiotics or do too much sugar or do too much dairy or too much flour products that are processed. Lorraine?
Exactly. There's so much chemicals in the processed packaged stuff. Coca-Cola was the first company that came out with the Bliss Point, which heightened all five senses beyond natural. And now absolutely everything that is processed packaged has to hit that bliss point. And it's done chemically, so
The bliss point gives you a blister called what? A pimple or a cyst. A pimple is actually a cyst. Say it to yourself. A pimple is actually a cyst. It is a pocket of pus. Okay? And remember something. If I was in the food industry and if all I wanted to do was make money, then I would only want to sell something that would create bliss, which is a dumping of serotonin and dopamine, making you feel happy, and then for the rest of your life make you feel crappy. And the same people that create the bliss point are the same people that own the drugs, are the same people that teach the medical practitioners on how to sell them. Do you understand? And there goes the circle right there. Marcia, I want to come back to Marcia. She's not here anymore, but she said, enough of you, I'm out of here. And it's because she felt I was too aggressive. And understand something. If you want to be stroked, this is the last platform you want to be on. If you want to find your authentic self and actually feel good about yourself and actually be excited about life, this would be your first program to be on. Because I love you with all my heart. And if I truly love you with all my heart, and that comes first, and not seeing how much money I can make off of you. Oh, listen, you know what? Go to somebody that strokes you then. And they're stroking, you'll buy more products from them, won't you? Yes, you will. Because they're giving you your bliss point. You got to give your bliss point to yourself. And if you do that, you'll be on point. Lorraine?
Exactly.
Yes.
I know 100% I would not be where I am if I hadn't taken the whole life coach. And I have taken it a number of times now, more than 3. And every time I take it, it goes deeper. Every time I take it, I learn something. And when you do those baby steps in the right direction, you get to where you want to be.
Absolutely. 1 second here. Rafa, if you can hear me, I need Carla to send me the messages, okay? If she's getting any, all right? Let me see if I've got any here. Okay, Annie, I have a small bump on my nose. The dermatologist tells me it's cancer and wants me to go to a surgeon to cut it out. What should I put on it to get rid of it? Okay, here we go. Everybody, you do what you want to do. Okay? We're going to give you ideas on what we would do if we were in your shoes. Right, Lorraine? We're not telling you what to do. We're telling you what we would do if we were in your shoes. Okay, and I'll tell you something right now. If you were to take our Franken-Zen, which is the highest vibrational essential oil, and you were to take DMSO gel, and you were to take C60, okay? And then you mix those. So you're going to take about just a little dab where you would put of the DMSO gel on. So if we can just try to compare it, I would take a little dab like the head of a pin. Let me see, Annie, can you tell me how big is it? I'd like to know how big it is. Can you text my phone? I appreciate your words sometimes. Annie, can you tell me how big it is? Can you text my phone 469-861-8884, and then I would get it right away. So understand, now guys, if Annie were to actually mix up DMSO, just the head of a pin she would put on, and she only needs 1 drop of Franken-Zen, not frankincense, it's a lot stronger, and 1 drop of C60. And that's all she's got to mix. So she would make up a bigger thing and put it in a little jar, okay, a little jar. And then all she would do is put a little dab. She mixes this and she puts a dab on it all day long. Guess what? Whether you believe this or not, She has the cancer, supposedly cancer is stage 4 inflammation on her nose. Okay. That's what we call it. We don't call it cancer, because when you call it cancer, it scares the living crap out of Annie. And now she adopts more adrenaline, more cortisol, more anxiety, and she feeds it. So we're going to put that dab on, and we're going to keep that dab on it all day long. And at night, we're going to put a dab on and just a little Band-Aid to make sure the dab stays there all night long. Now, please do not think of this as anything except logic. How about it's gone in 10 days to 3 weeks? It's not even there. Now, the reality is what she doesn't realize is it's not just this little thing here. This little thing was called the weak point. And thank God that it was on her nose and not her butt. She wouldn't have noticed it, would she? So now it's here and it's making her think. So Annie needs to go a little bit more hardcore and do bowel cleansing with daily cleansing tea, black gold, do the ultimate coffee enema, and she really needs to take a look at her diet. Because understand something, anywhere where there's cancer, there's a 35% deficit in oxygen in those cells. And you can't have cancer if you don't have enough lactic acid. Lactic acid from stress and from diet. And there's enough lactic acid to feed the cancer. Isn't that something? And enough sugar, because we need the sugar and we need the lactic acid. And if we don't have the sugar, we've got the lactic acid because we have the stress. So if Annie could bring her stress down, bring up the vibrational things that she eats, drinks, and thinks. And then I would also tell her to get a Perfect Day consult, whether it's from Sandra or whether it's from Lorraine or anybody else on the Doc of Detox, because you got lifetime support. And definitely download the PDG free guide, okay? PDGfree.com guide. Just download it and go in there, and we talk about all the combinations of things you use right from your nose to your toes. Eh, Lorraine?
That's right. That's right. It's all in the book. You know, that book should be on everybody's table, in every household, so that you can learn, number one, how the body works, and then how to supply it with what it needs. And when it gets what it needs, it does the work it's supposed to. We get a cut. We don't question the fact that it's going to heal. It's absolutely everything else that we question.
So Despy says, what can I take for ear infection? Well, again, ear infection, all right, if you're not doing dairy, which I'd be very surprised, you're doing something, because with any ear infection, you've got inflammation. So just know that, all right? And with inflammation, you're going to have mucus formation, trying to protect the inner ear. That's what they say, you got wax in your ears. And guess what, guys? It's not wax. If it's in your ear, they call it wax. It's actually mucus. Thank you very much. And that's trying to protect your inner ear, because the inflammation can cause tinnitus eventually. And it can actually cause eardrum problems. First thing I would do if I had ear infections and I was getting them all the time, I would take a look at my diet, but I would nebulize. I would be nebulizing infinite iodine straight and get a nebulizer, because when you breathe through your nose, guess what? You're actually affecting your inner ear, just so you know that, okay? And what I would also be doing, I would lay on my side every night and I'd put a little pool of infinite iodine in there for 3 to 5 minutes. I'd put a hot pack on top. Then what I would do is I would then empty it out, and then to make it easy, guess what I would do? I would only put like 2 or 3 drops of C60 coconut oil. It's 270 times stronger than vitamin C. Just get a little bottle if you want to buy it. And then I would put a squirt of silver bullet gel, and I'd go to sleep with the silver bullet gel and the C60 in there after I did the infinite iodine. And watch out if you don't wake up in the morning and it's gone. But then you need to do that for 10 days in a row. And then the longer and the stronger that you had these ear infections, the longer you need to do it. You know what everybody does? As soon as they feel no symptoms, what do? They stop doing it. So if you've had chronic ear infections, you want to go for at least 3 months after it's gone every 3 days or every 2 days. You do it before you go to bed, and then you never stop. You do it only twice a week even after that. And guess what? You'll never have it come back again. And then you won't get the tinnitus, and you won't have the earaches, and it won't make you grumpy. What do you think, Lorraine?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, there's I have treated a few people with tinnitus, and you know, doing that, the Wolf non-surgical around the ear. You can do one-shot therapy with a shot glass around the ear, and that's going to help open up the areas of stagnation, and then put the infinite iodine in there, like Daryl said, let it soak, let it drain, and you could be doing just the infinite iodine on one day, and the next day you can do a combination of Bright Eyes and silver solution, the same thing, and the next day you could do the C60 with the silver bullet gel. But just making sure that you're grabbing your ear when you've got that stuff in there, and you're really turning it one direction and the other direction, because that's going to help break up any stagnation in there, any crystallization, calcification, or scar tissue. And then that warm compress to allow it to get soaked in there really good.
Absolutely. And you know what? You can also clap it, whether you believe this or not. I used to have tinnitus in both ears, okay? In both ears. All right? And all of these things that we just told you, that's what I did. That's what I did. But I clap every second day. I clap for an hour to an hour and 20 minutes. My neck, my face, my head, and around here. Let me see here. Lorraine?
Yep.
Say something. I'm going to see if I can find my clapper. Don't you walk away. I'm walking away.
Okay.
Were you going to go get your clapper?
I was. It's right there.
Okay, go get your clapper and see who's back first.
There. I got mine.
I was here a while ago. Okay, I'm just going to show you guys. So I just want to tell you something. If you ever feel I'm being hard on someone, if I work from my heart, you don't know what you're talking about. You just remember that somebody was hard on you, but they weren't coming from their heart. I will never do anything to hurt anyone. And if I do, I apologize. Okay, now, this is how hard I go. I'm just going to give you a little sample, okay? And the reality is this, you should be clapping anywhere in the body where you've got blockages, okay? But Annie, don't do it on your nose, because you'll end up with a bloody nose and I don't want to get in trouble, okay? All right. I'm not kidding. You couldn't do that. If you did it that hard, it would be so painful. And also your subconscious would go, this is abusive, okay? I will clap like that. Lori, will I clap for an hour and 20 minutes that hard everywhere?
Yeah, still.
And there's certain places on my skull, and they'll be like this. You know, that ringing that I used to get in my ear? I will feel it in here, and that's because it's actually a block. And if you've ever seen me and the challenges and the adventures that I take on, what do you think? I don't get stuff built up? But I'm not going to let it stay there, because it'll affect my personality the next day. I just want to drop it all. And then I want to go out and I want to do the same thing again. Here I come, world. And that's that. You know, this is a Visa card. You got to make payments. If you care about what your husband, your wife, your children, your friends think, guess what? You're sunk. You are sunk. Because you can believe it or not believe it, but you're not going to get the support that you want out there. Ever, unless, okay, you look for a bunch of nut jobs like us, right, Lorraine?
That's right. That's right. You gotta find those people who are actually telling you what works, what really works, what gets to the root cause of things, instead of putting a Band-Aid on and saying, see you in a couple of months, you can watch it for a while. You know, I don't know about you, I'm tired. I'm tired of all the BS. Let me know what I need to do. Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's figure out how this works. You know, that's what we're all about here is let's start honoring our body. Let's give it what it needs so that it can do the work that it's always been able to do.
Okay, so Sonia says, curious if I can prepare Healthy Mouth and Silver Bullet Gel and Black Gold for my toothpaste ahead of time. Can I also prepare the vaginal infusion ahead of time? These are all foodstuffs. Prepare them, keep them in the fridge, and they'll last forever. They don't go bad. That's the deal.
Yeah.
That's the deal. So you can make up a bunch of that, okay? All right?
With the vaginal infusion, though, you want to be careful how much black diamond you put in it because that will liquefy it. It's a high vibrational nutraceutical.
Don't put the black diamond in until you're ready to do it. Yeah. That's all. So bring it out of the fridge, let it cool down, okay? All right? And don't boil it. You can warm it up a little bit, but and then put your black diamond in because it liquefies it a little bit, okay? Hi, Ellen. Hi, Daryl. Ellen from New York here. My 89-year-old mom has water on the knee after a fall. Well, she doesn't have water on the knee. What she has is inflammation. And because there's so much inflammation that we know causes dehydration and scar tissue formation, the body sends the water there to try to cool the inflammation down so it doesn't dehydrate the tendons, the ligaments, and the cartilage too much to create beef jerky. So when you've got too much inflammation, we call the fire truck, and that would be the water. Okay? All right. She's not hurt and has no pain. I have all the products plus, see, whether you believe it or not, Mama, okay, or Ellen should be doing this, believe it or not. Get it moving, okay, and then rub the DMSO cream around it, and then even be doing the Pain Away essential oil. And then use the clapper to clap the back of the knee lightly. Get things moving. Remember, when things swell, that just means there's a block, right? When things swell, that just means there's a block. That's all that means. So we got to move the block out. And then if you clap, you know, like, I'll tell you something. I hadn't done it for a while. So what I did is I put my leg up on the couch. Okay, I sat on the couch and I put my legs stretched out on the couch. I'm actually going to show this. When we get back into my studio in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Mexico, I'm going to show you how to work on different parts of your body like you've never seen before. Because we'll be finally set up and I'll be finally settled. I put my leg out and I worked right here on my knee with my elbow, okay? All right? And I worked that area for 20 minutes, hardcore. Like I used all my strength and I took everything apart here. This knee, I feel not 67 almost. I feel with this knee, after I work this knee, I feel like I'm 14 years old again. Remember something, aging is a scar tissue calcification problem. That's all it is. That's all it is. And guess what? We were built to break down. We weren't built to last. They built us to break down. They built us to suffer. And then they told us they were going to look after us. Yes or no? Call me a drama queen. Okay. You were built to break down. Don't give me the crap about God created the human body. This thing was manipulated in the lab hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago. You go ahead and believe whatever you need to believe. I'm just going to take massive personal action and be the guy that saves me at every given moment. I'm going to be the guy that figures out how to get rid of every scar tissue issue, how to get the calcium back in my bones, and how to have the best life ever because nobody's coming to save me. Is that okay with everyone? Well, you guys are sitting back waiting for something to happen. It's not going to. And the reality is you were sold a false promise. Let me get back to Ellen. I have all your products plus Avastin and Biotron with all the colored lenses. I have her on Curcumin Cayenne 5000. Yeah, well, guess what? If she can handle it, give her 2 every other hour and do that for 3 weeks to 6 weeks. You'll have a new mommy. Okay? If she can't handle 2 Curcumin Cayenne 5000 every other hour, do 1 every other hour. Just make sure she's drinking lots of structured water. If she feels like she's getting like a little bit of heartburn or acidity, it's not from the cayenne, it's only 6%. Curcumin cayenne pulls the acid out of the tissues and it helps to revive you. So then she's feeling the acid. So she might have to do like a rounded teaspoon of baking soda and a warm glass of water, buffer down the acid, but don't cut the curcumin cayenne. Go for it. And I'll tell you something, if I was 80 years old, I'd be taking a curcumin cayenne 1 every other hour, and I'd be doing it every day. And for an elderly person like that, okay, you're going to put the spring back into her. It's going to disinfect her whole digestive tract, and it's going to bring down the inflammation. Let me tell you, the Curcumin Cayenne 5000, the formula we have, that is the most popular formula all the way from arthritis to cancer around the world. Did you get that? It's inexpensive, and it works. And you can either start preventing things now. Okay, Lori and I have a bowl of Curcumin Cayenne 5000 in our home on a table. I have it in my office. I have it everywhere. I walk by, I drop a couple. Okay? That's the way it is. Let me tell you something. If you got perfect circulation, you got perfect health. And when your circulation starts to slow up, that's when you start getting beaver dams in the river, and those are called blockages. Lorraine?
Exactly. So yeah, the curcumin cayenne, if you've got an Avastin, that's another thing that you can be doing to help with your circulation. And of course, the clapping. You can clap, like Daryl said, you can clap anywhere, and that's going to help increase your circulation and help get things moving.
And just so you know, everybody, if you buy an Avastin from us right now, we're giving you $1,000 credit in retail in our product, Doc Detox, on the retail store. And if you buy a Biotron, you're getting $500. Nobody does that. Just like when people buy a Cellsonic for their clinic, okay, we give them a full New World practitioner training, which is worth $10,000. When they buy a cardio med bed, we give them a choice of the Whole Life Coach or the Wolf Non-Surgical. We give you as much as we can give you. Isn't it great? Isn't that what life is? Okay. The heart gives, the mind takes. Remember that. The heart gives, the mind takes. I'm not setting people up to get more money out of them, trying to upsell anyone. We don't do upsell. We give away. We'll give away as much as we possibly can to you, but you're going to have to start loving yourself and caring for yourself and taking some action here. Okay. And she drinks structured water and Ormus minerals. Okay. 80 years old, she needs 80 drops a day, not 40, of the Ormus minerals. Please let me know if there's anything else and what colored lenses to use. Red would be the one I would use. Okay. And red lenses. She drinks a lot of carrot juice and smoothies. She's 5'2" and 90 pounds. Okay. All right. You might want to get her on the SON formula amino acids and also get her on the amino boost and make her amino boost drink so she gets a lot more amino acids. That's the problem. So she's lost muscle. So everybody goes, oh, I'm losing weight. I'm getting older. I'm losing weight. Oh, what do I do? Well, first of all, you don't exercise and do any. And like when I don't go to the gym, and I'm not telling you I look like Mr. Muscle, but I will be showing you my whole workout routine. Okay. I'll show you what I do with my legs, my arms. I'll show you what I do with my upper body, how I build muscle and stretch it out at the same time. That's the deal, guys. Let me tell you something. This whole go to the gym, that's a scam. You go to the gym and you do contractual exercise, you don't stretch out enough, and you're actually destroying your body. Gyms destroy you. Let's make that perfectly clear. You do not need a gym to be in great shape. And I promise you that when we get this new studio, I mean, come on, this studio is like, it's 50 by 35 feet. It's got 5 studios in the studio itself. And we're going to be set up so professionally that we can show you so much to do. When you see this new platform, I'm going to blow you away. There's no platform like it in the world. We'll have the best of the best coming on there and supporting you every week on Braveheart Nation. So make sure that you sign up for the Braveheart Nation app, because I need to shut the government's yap. And I can't shut the government's yap if you don't come on the app, because they're just at me continually. And they just want to try to, well, you can see why, right? Okay. Let me see here. Good evening, dear Daryl, Dr. Wolf. What to do for hands? Minor muscles are weak. Thank you. I'll tell you what you do. You get yourself, okay? You get yourself a shot glass. I don't have one here right now, but do you have a shot glass? You're still banging back the tequila shots, aren't you, Lorraine?
Yeah, no. I've got a
Anyway, so you take the shot glass, and if you take a look at the bottom of the shot glass, or you take one of our essential oil bottles, the bottom, there it is, one of our essential oil bottles, right?
Yeah.
So you take the, show them the edge.
the edge right here.
Okay, you talk about it. I'm going to go find one, okay? Because I'm going to show what to do with the hands, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so you're gonna take the essential oil bottle, and I'm not sure what area of the hand that he wanted to work on, but
But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
I would have my hand down somewhere, but so that I can actually get in there and start going.
Okay, you're not showing it. You take a look at your video. Okay, so here. This is the bottom edge, okay? We can even use the Fulvic bottle. This is the eye drops, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Whether you believe it or not, guys. So when I came to Calgary, okay, I'm telling you right now, my eyes were burning the whole time in Calgary. I actually had a headache for the first 4 days. There's 5G all over Calgary, okay? I come to Kelowna and they're not burning as bad. But when I was in, I had to wear my Tesla glasses all the time, and I'm not a wimp. Guess what? People are going to, I live in Calgary and my eyes don't burn me anymore. Yeah, that's because your body got used to it. You'll find out when you get the cataracts, okay? So I'm telling you right now, I've been putting drops in my eyes all the time. When I'm in Mexico, okay, where there's no 5G, okay, I don't have any of this stuff. So just understand something. You know what? You're not sick. Maybe your environment that you live in is, okay? All right, so what you do is you take the bottle, you see here, you see the peace fingers? Watch. Okay, let me see here. Peace fingers. Okay, and then you see this, okay? Okay, now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my hand up here like this. This is why when I get to studio, we're gonna have an area set up, and we're gonna have like, guys, I'm not kidding you. We got 45 boxes of more video equipment coming and 15 that we're waiting for into Mexico. The studio will be built within 8 weeks, okay? Completely out. Okay, so what you do is you take like this, look, grab, and you use it on an edge. You put it on a 45-degree angle, and then you're gonna come in between here called your lymph channels. And then just go in here and just take a little area. And you might want to put a little bit of C60. I use C60 coconut oil. If you just want to use coconut oil or a little bit of vegetable oil, you can go ahead and do that. And see how when I go like this, I'm coming back and I'm kind of grinding it. And what you're going to feel is all kinds of crystals. And you want to go in there and you want to connect to your breath. You want to breathe in and breathe out. Keep a slight smile. Moan and groan if you want. Moan and groan if you want, okay? All right? But you're going to go in there and you're going to work the whole area. You're going to go in and work around your wrist, You're going to do your wrist area. You're going to do in between your thumb. You're going to do the thumb pad. You're going to do the other side. Just get in there. You cannot hurt yourself. And if you bruise yourself, don't worry. And if it does discolor, light purple, black, purple, that's all infection and inflammation. This did not bruise you. The poison was in you. When you do clapping, wherever you clap on your body, if it goes and it bruises, that means is guess what? You have tissue rotting. That means you're full of toxins and you've got contaminated tissue. And when you clap, that brings the toxins and the contamination and even the emotional issues in the tissues that are held in there are coming to the surface. And what color would they be? Green, brown, black, purple, light purple. And guess what? If you keep working on this, you won't bruise anymore. When you become more high vibrational, when you're low vibrational, and understand something, 99% of the population has parasites, has fungus, okay? People are rotting out. Seriously? Why don't you walk down the street? For God's sakes, yes, men can get pregnant, can't they? Most men look like they're 3 months to 18 months pregnant right now, okay? And I'm telling you that right now. And people are rotting out. You're all been set up for your large intestine, which is the holy grail, to take you down. And guess what? If you would have done daily cleansing tea, morning and night, and done black gold, anywhere from a teaspoon to a level tablespoon in a blended drink twice a day, okay, you wouldn't have that problem. Hey, Lorraine?
That's right. And making sure that you're well hydrated. So drinking the structured water, and now that we've got the cell power.
Okay, let me see here. So anyways, I will show eventually when we get settled, but just know this, everyone. We're going to be in Stuart, Florida, just near the end of May, because I've got a course, I think around June 5th, where we're going to be doing the Whole Life Coach in Stuart, Florida, and the Wolf Non-Surgical. And then Lorraine's going to do her 3-day masterclass for women there, her pelvic restoration masterclass. And then I come back for 3 weeks to Mexico. And during this time, we still have people flying from all over the world coming for personal treatment and training at the DOD 5-star in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Mexico. Wait till you see the pictures of our resort that people come to. Okay? All right? It's going to blow your mind. Okay? Now, and then we'll be leaving there, and then we'll be going to Australia, where I'm going to be doing a whole lecture tour all around Australia, and again, Whole Life Coach, Wolf Non-Surgical, and then Lorraine's coming over to do her pelvic course. And then in the fall, in October, we'll be doing the same thing in Ixtapa, Mexico, and we'll be doing a course here in Kelowna, British Columbia next April. But I am not planning anything else, because guess what? Are you ready for this? Okay, all the wackos are coming out, okay? It will be a 3-ring chaotic circus here, anywhere from the mid-September all the way through that whole election, if it does happen. I don't think it's, my odds are there's not going to be an election. That's how much chaos is going to be in the world. So we can't plan anything until after the new year, because even during COVID, which is just an hors d'oeuvre compared to what they've got planned for us, trust me. I'm going to tell you, I had to cancel 5 different trainings, and I am not going to upset people's lives. Okay, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to stay calm, stay quiet until they're done terrorizing the major part of the population so that they can get what they want. Okay, once that's over, then we can all go back to doing what we need to do. Right, Lorraine?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
All right, let me see here. Hi, Daryl. My Jack Russell has a lymphoma, a lipoma, not lymphoma. Okay, so a lipoma, everyone, is a sac that actually houses worms, parasites, okay? So we know that her dog is full of worms. All right, let me see what she's got to say about it. See, now that lipoma should be getting DMSO gel, should be getting the same thing we talked about for the little stage 4 problem on Annie's nose, okay? We want to go and see if we can shave around the lipoma, get rid of the hair, shave it right off, okay? Shave it all off, And then what we want to do, hopefully, and if the dog can reach it and lick it or bite it, then you're going to have to get one of those funnel things so it can't get near it. Then what you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing. You're going to get the DMSO gel. You're going to get the Franken-Zen, not the frankincense, because it's got to be stronger. And then you're going to get the C60, even a little bit maybe of silver bullet gel. And then you're going to make a paste. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put that paste on a Band-Aid that's really a good sticking adhesive Band-Aid, and you're going to leave it on. Then you're going to take it off every 8 hours, let it air for a couple hours or so, and then you're going to go right back at it. And you're going to keep on hitting that lipoma, all right? Then if you know anybody that has a Cellsonic, for every inch of the lipoma would be 50 pulses, and go in at 10 full force. And then I would be doing that. And if you know somebody who does non-surgical, they will go around it because there's roots around the lipoma that are walling in the parasites in the liquid, and it feels jelly. So we want to go deep and break those roots and those adhesions around so that we can break the wall. And that's what I would be doing. But the main thing is using the DMSO, the C60, okay, the Franken-Zen, okay. Those are the main things, and a little bit of silver bullet gel. Hey, look, you can't go wrong with it, okay. You're using as much as the area. You want to put it that it's like maybe 1/10 of an inch thick. So it's not that thick. And then put that Band-Aid on so it can't be moved. And like I said, you might have to get one of those funnel things for the dog so he doesn't chew on it. Anything you'd like to say, Lorraine?
Just do it. Just do it and make sure that you're like Daryl said, changing it every 8 hours. And I would be careful with the Band-Aid too. Make sure that there's no color in it, because there's pink Band-Aids out there, and DMSO will draw that in.
Oh yeah, you want a natural Band-Aid, okay?
Yeah.
All right. And next one, can you, Amy, can you put black gold in cat's wet food? Absolutely. Best thing you could do for that cat is to do that. And guess what, everybody? If you want to give your cat a teaspoon of C60, and if your dog weighed like 80 pounds, that would be 2 teaspoons of C60. Wait till you see their coat, their eyes, their brain, their joints. It's amazing. And you can even feed them for treats, the seal oil capsules, okay? It's called, help me out here.
Ocean Essentials.
Thank you, brain fart. So Ocean Essentials, you want to give your pets our Ocean Essentials, okay? They are, okay, just so our Ocean Essentials are 400 times more powerful and absorption-wise than fish oil, and they're going to love them. So those are the snacks. They'll eat them. Just give them the gels. They'll love it, won't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cats, dogs. Yeah.
My daughter had a cat when I came to visit one time. And I had bought a big bottle of the Ocean Essentials, and I split it with my daughter, and I put mine in a Ziploc, and I left it on the kitchen table, and the cat got at it and started getting the Ocean Essentials out overnight. You know, so yeah, they're very attracted to them, definitely.
My husband has an infection under two top back teeth, not black. My apologies. They want him to do a root canal. Any advice? Just know this, okay? All right, dentists, they don't even know it, but they're murdering people. And you know, people are going, be nice, Daryl. Really? You want me to be nice? Okay. All right. They teach us to send our kids to the corner store and do Halloween and do Easter and to do Christmas. So we rot their teeth out. So then they go to the dentist so they can put silver fillings in that are 47% mercury. So then it'll go and calcify the child's pineal gland to bring down their whole vibration and their spirit. Are we done yet? That's the whole deal, isn't it? Okay. And understand, we already know that fluoride is a neurotoxin that it poisons everybody. but they want to put that in your mouth, and then they want to give you antibiotics, and you shouldn't take those unless you have a life-threatening situation. But a dentist is so terrorized by the dental association, they drive that down your throat. Yes or no? Yes or no? Does your dentist treat you like a terrorist? Yes, he does. Okay? Yes, he does. And it's so wrong. It's all poisonous. And guess what? Does anybody know who owns and runs it? How about this? Rockefellers. Didn't know that, did you? Okay? Yeah. You know, don't tell me these guys are doctors. Okay? Don't dare do that. They're not. They're not. Your dentist is not a doctor. End of story. You know what? It's okay. Everybody else can be scared of them and be scared of authority out there, but they're poisoning our children. And if you want to be poisoned, go right ahead. You're an adult. But, you know, I pity all the children that are being raised by adulterated adults, which are almost all of them. So I got a big mouth. I get it. But guess what? Why don't we all just stay silent here, or just say, I've had enough, and get off the platform? You know, that's what people do. Oh my God, you're so aggressive. Really, really. So do I complain about my life? Never. Do people complain and try to explain about their life? All the time, don't they? Right? That's because they don't take action. They don't stand up for themselves or their family. Thank you. I think we've all had about enough, haven't we? All right. So anyways, don't get a root canal. If he gets a root canal, there's no such thing as a healthy root canal. 50% of all women with breast cancer have a root canal on the same side of as the breast cancer. Yes or no? Go do your research. You'll find out I'm right. Okay. You give him a root canal, and guess what? You're going to find out he might have heart disease, or he'll have a lung problem. Okay. Or he'll have a neurological disorder. Are you with me yet? So pull that tooth out, and then guess what? Get him on Dentagen and Merigen, and guess what? You won't have to do any bone grafting. It'll all just, within 6 weeks to 3 months, it's all filled in that only 3 months if he's an alcoholic or a sugar addict. But if he's actually eating a half decent diet, in 6 weeks, all the bone is filled in from where they pulled out the 2 teeth. And now they can go in and put a post in, a titanium post, and then they can put in a ceramic or a porcelain tooth. And guess what? He's off to the races. Why would you ever want to do a root canal where the root is gone and there's always infection inside there? Okay, that's it. That's all I want to say. But even if he has infection under the teeth, if he actually took his toothbrush and he put silver bullet gel on, and then he went and put Healthy Mouth essential oil, and I mean like a few drops, 4 to 6 on top of that, and sprinkled black gold, and he brushed his teeth 3 times a day, and he swished his mouth with Healthy Mouth, just even putting like 2 or 3, 4 drops, and then mixing with saliva and swish it around right in the area of the infection, he could probably get it out of there. And especially if he did Dentagen and Merigen, guess what? It'll recalcify the teeth. What do you think, Lorraine?
Exactly. And if they're taking C60, that's another thing that you could be holding back wherever that tooth is, kind of making sure it's right there and really swooshing it.
So question, I had heart disease. No, my apologies. I had a heart release done, and my life unfolded in so many ways, opened up my life path, so to speak. But I still think there is more. Should I do another? Understand, everybody on here, if you did a heart release, your life would change. Whether you want to believe it or not, the heart is the recorder of all your love relationships. And the main one is with yourself. And whether you want to believe this or not, okay, I don't mind being challenged. How about the next perfect day that we do next week? Why don't we just have somebody come on and challenge me about this? 95% of all heart disease is emotional. It's not physical. You will find people that have the most crappiest diet in the world and they don't have heart disease. You'll find people that don't have a crappy diet that have heart disease. And understand something, my achy breaky heart. You break my heart. She broke my heart. My heart is empty. Every time you leave, my heart hurts. I can't live without you. Okay, right. You're going down, baby. You're going down. Okay. So just understand. And then if you've had your heart hurt, you actually calcify it and you get scar tissue. And whether you believe this or not, when we go in there, we can feel a whole fist of calcification and scar tissue wrapped around your heart, choking your heart off. You think I'm kidding? Some people will start here at the sternum, doing Wolf non-surgical, work our way up, and as we get closer, they get more emotional. And guess what? Are you ready for this? Only 1 out of 2 people do we make it to the heart. And we call it the God spot in here. Once we release that, everything releases. And you have no idea. You have no idea. Listen to me, everyone. Okay? You're on your own on this one. I keep telling you, I am never going to stop. It's called unconditional love. I have that for myself and I have it for you, no matter what you think of yourself or me. I have it for everybody on the planet. Okay? I have unconditional love for Bill Gates. You need to get that. And now you think I'm a whack job? Doesn't matter, because I don't care what you think, because you don't think. The reality is whoever you hate, that's your disease. And guess what? If it's not me, it's going to be somebody else, because you got a problem. The reality is if you minded your own business, you'd be off to the races. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to get rid of all of these corrupted love relationships that you made everybody into a nipple. After you started to walk and talk, you acted like mommy and daddy and you got punished for it. And they told you you had unconditional love when they could hold you. You were spitting on them, pooping on them, keeping them up at night. Try to do that when you walk and talk. You're getting a spanking. Hey, if I come back, I do not want to be raised by adults. I want to be raised by a young teenager. Okay. All right. Okay. By 2 young, loving teenager hippies. Okay. Somehow I just lost my, and I don't even know how to do this here. So, anyways, we might just have that screen for a while. But the reality is I don't ever want to be raised by an adult ever again, because you're all poisoned. I was poisoned. But I woke up and I apologized to my kids. When Sage was only 6 years old, I had all my kids on there and I apologized, said, me and your mother have screwed you up for life. Just know that we're here. I'm here and I want to help you, because unravel this. But don't think that you're going to go walking around when you're older saying it's my fault, because I got screwed over too. But I'm here for you right now. Okay. Lorraine, you want to talk while I see if I can figure out this computer, which I can't, but I'll try.
Yeah, our emotions are the biggest thing that holds us back. And like Daryl said, our heart is the keeper of all those emotions. So having a heart release is an amazing thing that you can be doing. It definitely opens up and allows you to let go of a lot of things. And the cool thing is we don't even need to know what those things are that we're letting go of. We just need to let them go and open up the areas of stagnation, so we get better blood flow and lymphatic flow, and that spark of life comes back there.
I was on a big meeting tonight and people were coming on and they were talking about how abusive their life has been and how it traumatized them, and how they go around now talking about it and doing talks. I just wanted to just run. Seriously, if you come to us, you can tell your story one time, because that's good, because lay it all out. But why aren't we starting with the now? Why aren't we not practicing forgiving anyone? Why aren't we just practicing unconditional love? Why don't we just cut to the chase? Why do we have to practice forgiveness for the next 10, 15 years? My God, if I had to go back and forgive everyone, well, right now, there's no one to forgive because absolutely, no matter how abused you were by someone, they did their best. I know you don't believe that, but guess what? The brain's a computer, and there's some really sick people out there teaching us some really sick things, right? Okay. All right. Let's see here. How long have we been on for? So it's 2 hours. So we will only go 2 hours, guys. And I'll let you know, but I don't know. Do you guys like this time? Or would you, can we do it like, we did it at what time tonight? We did it
At 9 Eastern.
yeah, which was 6 my time.
Yeah.
Is this really convenient for people, or can we pull it back an hour? Can we pull it back 2 hours, or no? This one we should leave later. What do you think, Lorraine?
Well, I think a lot of people like the after, like the early evening.
Well,
So-
early evening would be when I started it at 6 o'clock would be
Yeah,
in BC, right?
yeah.
1 hour earlier works too. Okay, another person said it. Okay, 1 hour earlier. So we started so next week it'll be 5 Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern, and we'll leave it like that forever. And
Yeah.
don't try to screw around with it either, Lorraine. I won't put up with it. Okay,
Deal.
boy, I'll tell you, I gotta watch you.
I know. Like
Let's
a
finish
hawk.
let's finish the questions, okay? And it is getting dark here. And this Airbnb. Let me see. Can I open the screen? Can you talk about something, Lorraine?
Sure. Well, if you haven't had a perfect day consult and you're dealing with something, if the first thing I would do would be download that perfect day guide, go to PDG free and start going through that. And if you decide you need to take it a little bit deeper, that's when you need that coach to help you out. So going to the DACAdetox.com/consultation, and you could pick out one of the consultants there. We're all master consultants, and you're going to learn how to how to love your body back to being
Okay, guys, do you see all the work she's done? Okay, all right, okay. God knows what she's going to get into when she gets off the show tonight.
exactly. Won't be tequila. It might be a shot of immunity. That's what I've got right here. Immunity.
Okay. How do I store my oils? Well, first of all, you can keep them in the fridge, but understand something, guys. RC60, MCT oil C60 and hemp oil C60 doesn't go bad for years and years. Okay. You can keep your Ocean Essentials in the fridge if you want. But see, you don't have to do what I do, but I take 10 a day. I tell people to take 5 a day. Just understand something. And I'll go through it. Would you like me to go through that next week? We could play a game. I could get one of our products, all of our products, and I'll just go through what I do. Did you know that all the dosages on almost all our bottles are wrong? Did you know that we have to do that because of Health Protection Branch in Canada and FDA? Did you know that we have to play Inky Dinky Schnitzel House with you? And that's why you won't get well. And that's why people don't get well. And when people come to us, we go, if you've got a 10-foot hole, we'll build you a 10-foot ladder. So you can think what you want, but you need to understand something. I don't need your money. I don't need your money. I've been successful all my life. Nobody puts sales on like I do and gives books away, creates the biggest library, okay, with master classes in the world, and then creates a $200,000 Braveheart Nation app and is worried about money. I hope you get this. So the reality is if you want, I'll show you what I would take in certain, if I was healthy, what would I take? How much? If I had symptoms, what would I take? If I had a chronic condition, what I would take? And if I was in critical care, what I would take of each product. How's that? And they can't do anything to me. But I will tell you that everything is regulated. Just like, our Beyond Ormus minerals, they tell us we can only put 80 on there. We have 92 different essential minerals in our product, and we're not allowed to say it. We can only say 80. And I have the most powerful electrolyte supplementation, which is Beyond Ormus, and there's nothing that'll touch it. Most of my products stand heads above everything out there. And you can pick up a bottle of another product and go, it reads the same, Daryl, because we are confined. We are confined in a little box. So when people say to me, oh, why is this product more than the health food store? Well, guess what? 70% of all the products in the health food store, okay, the bottle and the cap cost more than what's inside. Doesn't matter if you believe me or not. It's the truth. I'm not putting it down. Maybe that's all some people can afford. But the reality is I am not going to cheapen my product. So instead of cheapening my product, I'll tell you what. We're now making 5% on our products when we do a sale. 5%. You need to get that. And we have a staff, don't we? We have one in Mexico, we have one in US, and we have one in Canada. How's that for abundant thinking? So if I wasn't going around doing the courses in the world, and if we weren't doing the things that we could do, we could not pass on all of this to everybody. I am not trying to look like a good Samaritan, because it's not what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you that we should be helping all our brothers and sisters, even the ones we don't like. Wouldn't that be something? And I use sarcasm because I mean it. We are coming to a point in our life. Some of you will call it biblical. Some people will call it spiritual enlightenment. And I'll just call it's time to wake up. Okay. Which are the products do you recommend for taking every day? Black Gold Daily Cleansing Tea and the Perfect Day, one a day. Those right there. And if you can afford the Beyond Ormus minerals, because understand it's always been about minerals. And I already told you that we can show you actual studies that show that our Beyond Minerals electrolyte, okay, is the most electrically charged and the highest mineral content of any electrolyte mineral drink in the world. That's the truth. Yeah. You got to understand that I get offered products every week, don't we, honey?
Yeah.
Every week, 3 to 6 products every week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look at them. We'll try them. But guess what? This thing's got a mind of its own. It wants me to stop. Okay? Quit shaking your head, Sandra. Okay. Anyways, so I got to tell you, we only take on I just brought on the Power Cell, right? Okay. That's like an MLM. I swore I would never do that 30 years ago, but I had to do it because hydrogen is the key, and it makes more hydrogen than anything else. And then people go, oh, yeah, it's $575, and I'll tell you, it's worth every nickel. But people don't get that. But you got to do your homework, everyone. And remember something, most people only have so much value. And the reality is guess what? Every one of you that decided to go get a job and not find your passion and purpose are struggling financially. I hope you're getting that, because you all have a gift. Okay, I'm off my box. Okay, here we go. I did that on my fingers and took the skin off. Well, you didn't do it right, and you didn't use enough oil. Okay, so you were too dry. All right, and it's actually a technique. Look, I may not be able to show you until I get into my studio. Okay, I'll be back in Mexico. Stop as you want, Montenegro, Mexico, in 3 weeks, right? Is that true, Lori? 3 weeks.
About 3 weeks.
About 3 weeks, yeah, around the 7th of next month. And what was I going to say? Can't
Then you'll
remember.
be able to show the bottle. You'll be able to show this better.
Yeah, I'll be able to show I won't just show the bottle. We'll show everything. Listen to me. We don't, you know what everybody does? What do health practitioners do? They hold out on you.
Hold back. Yeah.
They hold back, okay? Because they need you to come for treatment every week. Well, guess what? If you're still coming to us for treatment after 3 months, then guess what? We don't know what we're doing. That's the truth. And if you've got a chronic disease, even life-threatening, you should not be coming to us for more than 6 to 9 months. And that's only tweaking. That's only tweaking. And that's the God's truth. Remember, though, that if you've got a 10-foot hole, I got to give you a 10-foot ladder. You got a 20-foot hole, I got to give you a 20-foot ladder. So the reality is when you come to me and you say, what would I do? I'm going to be totally honest with you. And I'm going to tell you that you need to take this for this long. And then guess what? Guys, if I do a consult on you, you can call me 10 times a day because we're going to get you there. Right, Lorraine? If you get a consult from Lorraine, she's going to answer all your questions, not say, stop bothering me, or you got to pay me more.
No.
She's not going to ever be irritated at you. You know, this is Braveheart Nation. This is what this is all about. You pay one fee and we take you. And every time that you fall, we help you fall forward. We will never judge you or criticize you. I just ate a box of cookies and I had 3 glasses of wine. Okay, all right. So how do you feel? Like crap. Okay, so let's purge that out and let's get started and let's get back to it. Because never give up on yourself. Never give up on yourself. And I mean that. That's the only crime here. Never give up on yourself. Because that's what they want. Isn't it cool? Isn't it great? I actually talked to a gentleman and he said, if you can't help me, Dr. Wolf, I've already went and had my appointment for assisted suicide because you can get that covered by your medical in Canada. Isn't that nice? Okay. And I'm going to tell you something. When your spirit gives out, that's when everything gives out. Feed your spirit, heal your body. And you can't do that if you're not going to walk the path of the heart. Okay. I appreciate the words. Sometimes it takes that shake up to make you change. I want to take the training. I don't think you are being mean. You are finally a doctor that goes back to the source, not putting a Band-Aid or a painkiller. Face the truth. Well, the only truth that you need to face is that you're beautiful and that you need to make love to yourself all day long. You need to be gentle. You need to be patient. And when you fall down, you don't talk bad about yourself. You don't beat up on yourself. This is the deal, okay? When I stopped calling myself an idiot, okay? All right? When I stopped calling myself an idiot, I wasn't then. Up until then, call yourself an idiot and you'll be an idiot, okay? All right? You know, I don't know. Let's take a vote of the people that are on here. I can see some of the people here. What would you like to do next week? Would you like to walk through the perfect day diet on a nutritional level, or would you like to go through and do the Braveheart 12 loving steps and have us talk about that? Which one? Let me see here. Christine, what do you think? Lisa, what do you think? Perfect day diet. Anybody else want to vote?
I see someone put a heart on there.
Okay, so it's perfect day diet. We've got 3 people, okay? All right? Okay, diet. And it's not diet, guys, it's live it. Remember something, the first 3 letters in diet is die. And they wrote that for us. And they gave us a diet, didn't they? And did you ever notice anybody that's on a diet all the time? They're killing themselves, aren't they? You got to be on a live it, but you can't be on a live it and live with your family because they're always on a diet. All right, so it's hard. I get it. Okay, should I live or should I die? I don't know. Me, oh my. Okay, I think I want to cry. Okay, all right. We're losing it, honey. We're gonna have to go for a walk. Okay. Hi, Dr. Wolf. I'm in Puerto Vallarta. Wish you were here. Okay. I don't want to go to Puerto Vallarta. I live in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Mexico, and it's the most beautiful place. It's got these beautiful rolling mountains, just like Kelowna. Okay. And there's like 2,500 people that live in Ixtapa, and then there's 35,000 that live in Zihuatanejo. You know, there's no chain drive-throughs, nothing. You know, I can wear bare feet into every supermarket, restaurant. Nobody says anything. I live the way I want to live, and it's total freedom. You know, it's the most peaceful, non-violent place I've ever been in my life. Hey, Lorraine, what do you think?
That's right. You know, I was there for, I don't know, 2.5 years, and I never felt threatened or worried about walking down the street. I mean, of course, I'm not going to do that at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning.
But I will tell you, we had a few thousand people come, didn't we? A few thousand
we did
for our healing and trainings. And the only time the police would come was when they were bringing the drunks home that came to be healed and trained.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if we have any more here. I want to thank everybody, though, and for giving us the honor to want to care for you and love you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And, you know, just know this, that the beautiful lady that was on first, that I tried to rattle her cage, see, nobody knew. She's been talking to me now for 5 years. No, wait a second. That's not right. When's the first time that we went to Florida, honey? A long time ago. Oh my God, it's been like 10 years with her. 10 years. So tonight I just went, you know, seriously? Seriously. So whether you want to believe it or not, guys, there is some emotional or sexual abuse there. And I get it. But guess what? We were all emotionally and sexually abused. I was. Okay. All right. You know what? The day that it didn't matter was the day it didn't matter. It was a happening. I got this. Rewrite your story. His story, stop it. Just stop it. Right now, right here, let's do this. Slight smile, connect to our breath, and say we got this. I'm wounded. Really? Is that what you want on your tombstone? I was wounded? Okay.
No,
Again.
we really
Go ahead,
have,
Lorraine.
we really have to think about, you know, what kind of legacy we want to leave for our children. You know,
Yeah.
is it going to be a legacy of sickness or a legacy of wellness and love? And that's what we're aiming for is that wellness and love. And that's why we have all these different tools that help to raise the vibration of the body. And when you can do that yourself and be that example, that light for your family, you've just lightened everybody else's load.
When you finally started loving and caring for yourself, seriously, Lorraine, your family didn't have their hooks into you anymore, did they?
No, they didn't.
Now, when I say their hooks, they weren't trying to hook her. But understand something, we all suck off each other. And when we're not in a good mood, do we push the love buttons or do we push the pain buttons in each other?
Usually the pain buttons. Usually
You may not like me, but I tell the truth. I've got 30 years of psychology. And guess what? If you ever come to one of my courses, you're going to find out. It takes me a matter of 30 seconds to a minute, and I will tell you your exact personality. I'll open it up. I won't embarrass you, but why are you there? Why do you come on here if you don't want something different? You know, it's like this. If you come on here to be entertained, it's wrong. You come here to be inner trained, not entertained. If you want entertainment, okay, go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. You know what? You can always tell people that are never going to move. What do they say after they've been on here? Well, that was different. Oh, that was interesting. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, really? You know what? They've made us all into a joke. This is a time where you need to take unconditional love for yourself serious. Do not make choices for your partners. Do not make choices for your children. And do not make choices for your friends. Why don't you try out a little bit of courage? Lorraine, would you like to finish off the night?
Yeah, we all have to learn how to be our own practitioner first, and that loving yourself first and foremost is the most helpful, heartful thing we could do for ourselves. So,
how much did you struggle over the last 6 years? How did you struggle? Was there any struggles? Did you fall back and get to the point that you felt like you were gonna just off yourself again, Lorraine?
I had a few fallbacks. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But you know what? When you're down, the only place you can look is inside. You got
And guess what? You've got a Braveheart family here. We will love you anyway. You can fall down, but we're going to pick you up. A phone call. You don't get this, do you? None of you get this. You don't get that. You create this divide. You could call me. Hi, Daryl. My name is Annie. I've never talked to you before, but here's my situation. And how would I deal with it? Annie, I've been waiting for your call. And you can believe it or not believe it. Okay? Don't put me on a pedestal. Do not put Lorraine on a pedestal. You talk to us as if we've been friends with you all your life. We will not let you down. Okay? We don't want anything from you. Keep your money, but just look for your Sonny. That's all we want you to do. We don't care. You can take a consultation, take a course, buy a product. You're not going to be treated any differently than anyone else. Just take everything that we have for free because you are valuable. Take that to heart.
Yeah.
Lorraine?
Yeah.
You can end it. Good night, everyone.
When you come from the heart, that's the magic. That's where the magic comes from. You know, so just keep doing that 1% every day, making that little bit of a change. And then in 100 days, you've got it. In 100 days, you've done it. You know, love yourself so much that you allow the change to happen. You let that little girl back out or that little boy back out, and you start loving life again, and you see all the goodness around you. That's what happens. When that light comes back in, the body changes. It says, oh my gosh, you're right. I am beautiful. You're right. I do love myself. You're right. I can take care of me. And when you do that, your world changes. And that's what I want to leave you guys with. And just know this is my passion. This is my purpose. And if you want to reach out to me or Sandra, I see Sandra's beautiful face there. You know, that's what we're here for. That's what we love doing. You know, it's our pleasure to be able to inspire people to love themselves. Yeah. And you know what? We've got these little love bands here and we'd like to end with that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. We've got this.